Hey, can I ask you something? Have you ever been in something that felt like a puzzle with missing pieces? One day she's talking to you like you're the sun in her sky. The next day, she disappears. Her texts slow. Her voice changes, and you're left scratching your head, wondering what is happening. That push, that pull. It makes your chest tight. Your mind spins. You check your phone a million times, hoping for that message. Did she just forget me? Was that joke not funny today? Do I even matter? It's exhausting. Like your heart got stuck on a spinning wheel, and it won't stop. But here's the truth your mind doesn't want to hear. This isn't confusion. This is choice. She's not trying to figure it out. She's just not committed. If she's all in, there's no guessing. If she's halfway, there's no peace. And that's exactly what you deserve. Love that's whole, not half. You're not asking for a fairy tale. You're asking for respect, for consistency, for someone who shows up again and again. But instead, you got uncertainty. You got waiting, hoping, doubting. And every time you give another chance, your value dips a little more. Your heart shrinks. Your confidence crumbles. And you forget how it feels to feel strong. But here's the powerful part. You don't need to wait for her to figure it out. You don't need her to give you lectures or explanations. You don't need cold feet. You just need one thing. You need clarity. So say it out loud, even if just to yourself. If she's not all in, she's all out. That's your truth. That's your line. That's your self-respect speaking. You don't collapse. You don't beg. You don't chase. You just step forward. Not out of anger, but out of love for who you are. You walk with calm confidence, with quiet dignity, with heart and boundaries. That's not rejection. That's wisdom. That's power. Creating space isn't losing her, it's finding yourself. Have you ever held on to something so tight that your hands started to hurt? But you didn't let go because you thought, if I let go, I'll lose it forever. Now imagine that something is a person, a girl, a situationship, someone who's kinda there, but not really. And you're scared that if you stop texting, stop chasing, stop asking, she'll vanish. But here's the twist. What if that space you're so afraid of is the exact thing that sets you free? Let me tell you something powerful. You don't find yourself by holding on. You find yourself by letting go, just enough to breathe again. When you create space, something strange happens. Your mind clears up. Your chest feels lighter. You start seeing all the little ways you were shrinking to make her comfortable. All the overthinking. All the maybe I should text first thoughts. All the fear of silence. Gone. Creating space isn't a trick. It's not pulling back. It's not punishment. It's you saying, my life matters too. It's building your world with your hands, your passions, your vision, your goals, your brothers, your grind. And here's the best part. When you do that, when you step away from needing her to make you feel wanted, something magical happens. She starts wondering where your attention went. Because attention is value, and value creates desire. Men don't lose women by creating space. Men lose themselves by never doing it. So breathe. Focus, rebuild. Not for her, but for you. Quinta. She doesn't want to be your life. She wants to join one that's already moving. Imagine a train, powerful, fast, loud, focused. Now picture a girl standing by the tracks, watching it go by, eyes wide, heart racing. She doesn't want to stop the train. She wants to hop on. But if that train stops moving, just to beg her to ride, she walks away. Now ask yourself this: are you the train or the guy standing still, hoping she notices? Most guys don't get this. They make her the center of everything. They pause their goals, their growth, their mission, just to wait, text, explain themselves, ask her what's wrong. But here's the truth. The more you make her your whole world, the less she wants to be in it. Why? Because women are wired to follow strength, movement, purpose. They're drawn to a man who's going somewhere, a man who's so focused that her presence becomes a privilege, not a lifeline. She wants to feel like you're a man with a mission, that you've got something bigger than her, something that drives you every single day. That's what makes your aura glow. It's not about ignoring her. It's about not needing her to feel alive. You've got to build a life that's already full. One that's so rich, so powerful, so magnetic that she doesn't feel chased. She feels like she's chasing you. Because here's what most men never understand. Love grows best when it's earned, not when it's handed over. So be the train. Keep moving. Don't stop just to prove your worth. Let her feel the wind of your progress and let her decide if she wants to jump in. Esto must. Your silence isn't empty. It echoes power. Ever walked into a room and felt something? Not from the noise, but from the silence? That's you. When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop chasing, when you stop filling every gap with "are you okay?" or "did I do something wrong?" Your silence, it hits harder than 1,000 words. Most men don't know how to be silent. They panic. They think if they don't speak, she'll forget them. They think if they're not always present, they'll be replaced. But here's what they don't understand. Silence, when it comes from strength, becomes a mirror. She starts to look at herself, her actions, her games, her distance. And guess what happens? She starts wondering, wait, why isn't he chasing me anymore? Did I lose him? Why do I feel this emptiness? Your job isn't to fill space. Your job is to own it, to show that you're so grounded, so solid, that you don't need noise to be noticed. You're not punishing her. You're just protecting your energy. You're not disappearing to play games. You're just focused, building, moving. That's what makes your silence powerful. Because when it comes from peace, it pulls her in. Women don't chase noise. They chase mystery. They chase certainty. They chase the man who's okay with walking away because he knows his worth. That's what silence screams. I don't need you to choose me. I've already chosen myself. Calm is a superpower, and she can feel it. What if I told you the most dangerous man in the room is the one who doesn't flinch? Not the loud one. Not the guy flexing. Not the dude blowing up her phone. Nope. It's the man who stays calm, even when everything feels like it's falling apart. See, here's what most men don't get. You think she wants you to react, to fight, to prove your feelings with big speeches or wild gestures. But truth is, she's watching how you hold yourself under pressure. When she pulls away, when she gets cold, when she tests your patience, she's not looking for your panic. She's watching your peace. Can you breathe slowly while the silence gets louder? Can you smile? When your mind is screaming, text her. Can you stay grounded when your heart feels like it's drowning? Because if you can, you've just unlocked a power 99% of men will never have. That's emotional mastery. That's the Stoic edge. And that's what keeps her guessing. Why is he not chasing me? Why does his calm make me feel uneasy and attracted at the same time? Being calm doesn't mean you don't care. It means your emotions don't control you. You feel everything, but you don't react like a puppet. You choose your response with power. That's AURA. That's control. That's how legends are built. She's used to men losing their cool. But when she meets a man who doesn't react, who holds the same energy no matter what, he becomes unforgettable. Absence isn't weakness. It's a magnetic force. Have you ever noticed the moment you stop showing up, she starts looking for you? It's weird, right? You gave her your time, your energy, your heart. And she barely noticed. But the moment you go quiet, the moment your presence disappears, suddenly she's wondering, where did he go? Why isn't he calling, texting, chasing anymore? Here's the truth. Most men never learn. Your absence is louder than your words. When you stop showing up, you give her the space to feel your value. You let her sit in the silence and ask herself what life feels like without you in it. Not because you're playing games, but because you finally chose your peace over her confusion. You see, when you're always available, when you're always chasing, she never has to question anything. But when you step back, not out of anger, not to manipulate, but to protect your self-worth, she starts to feel the scarcity. And what's scarce becomes valuable. What's rare gets remembered. That's why detachment isn't weakness. It's strength in silence. It's not about walking away to punish her. It's about walking toward your own life. And sometimes The most powerful move isn't to say anything. It's to say nothing at all. So the next time you feel ignored, don't fight harder. Disappear into your purpose. She'll either feel the emptiness you left, or someone better will fill that space with real respect. Either way, you win. The more you chase, the more she runs. Have you ever chased a balloon on a windy day? No matter how fast you run, it just floats farther away. Now think about her. The more you call, the more you text, the more you try to explain yourself or fix it. She pulls back. She becomes colder. She feels gone. Let's break the truth wide open. The chase kills attraction. Why? Because chasing makes you look like you need her more than she needs you. And when she feels that, she loses curiosity. She loses respect. She loses the spark. But wait, does that mean you should never care? Number. It means you should never overcare. Because when your life is full, with purpose, focus, and strength, you stop chasing and start attracting. She wants to feel your energy. Yes, but not like a dog chasing a ball. She wants to be pulled in by your gravity, not dragged in by your begging. You lose your power when your happiness depends on her attention, but you gain that power back when your joy lives in your own mission. So what should you do instead of chasing? You create space. You live fully. You become a man she has to keep up with, not one trying to keep her around. Because a man who chases has no direction, but a man who moves forward makes her wonder where he's going and whether she'll be left behind. Teammates, your silence is louder than her games. What if I told you? The most powerful thing you can say to her is nothing at all? Not a text, not a call, not a paragraph explaining how you feel. Just silence. That silence, it's not weakness. It's warrior calm. When a woman starts acting hot and cold, one day sweet, next day distant, she's not confused. She's testing your center, testing your balance. And most guys, they fail that test. They react, they panic, they try harder, they talk more. They ask, "What's wrong? Did I do something?" But the man who stays silent, who watches with steady eyes, who doesn't need to prove anything, that's the man she can't shake. Because silence shows you're not afraid of losing her. Silence means you're focused on your own life, not her mood swings. It's not about being cold or mean. It's about being clear. I will not dance in confusion. I will not beg for peace. I create peace. And in that space, that quiet space you leave, she begins to hear her own thoughts, and she feels your absence like a mirror. Her games stop when they meet silence. Her control fades when there's no reaction, and your value rises when you don't fight for attention. So next time her energy feels strange, don't argue, don't chase. Just lean into the silence. Let it say, "I am still because I am strong." Your standards are a shield, not a cage. What if the real reason she's playing games is because you never told her the rules? No, not out loud. Not by texting some long list of expectations, but by how you live, how you speak, how you respond when things don't feel right. Because here's the truth, brother. A man without standards, he becomes a playground. She runs circles, tests him, pushes boundaries. And he lets it happen because deep down, he doesn't believe he deserves better. But a man with clear standards, he doesn't argue. He doesn't explain himself over and over. He just moves differently. He walks away when something feels off. He values his time like gold. And that changes everything. You know why? Because women don't follow words. They follow energy. They feel it when you mean what you stand for. You say you want loyalty? Then be loyal to your peace first. You say you want love? Then don't accept half love, mixed signals, or emotional breadcrumbs. You say you want respect? Then stop entertaining people who don't give it freely. It's not harsh. It's not arrogant. It's called self-respect. And when you truly have it, you don't need to yell it. You don't need to post it. You radiate it. She can sense it. She knows when she's met a man who knows what he will and will not allow. And that scares her in a good way. Because now she is the one thinking, will I lose him if I keep acting like this? That's the power of standards. They don't limit your freedom. They protect it. They're not about controlling her. They're about leading yourself. Coming up next in the final stage, we'll finish this off with the final piece. The move that makes you unforgettable in her mind, without even needing to try. Become the man she can never replace. What if the most powerful thing you could ever say was nothing at all? No long text, no begging for one more chance, no dramatic goodbye, just silence, filled with calm, purpose, and peace. Sounds simple, right? But to her, it's loud. It echoes. It stings. It haunts. Why? Because silence from a strong man is not empty. It's full. Full of confidence. Full of meaning. Full of energy she can't forget. You see, most men try too hard to be remembered. They overgive. They over-explain. They overstay. But you're different now. You've detached. Not because you don't care, but because you finally care about yourself. You walk away, not to punish her, but to protect your peace. You stop chasing, not because you've given up, but because you've woken up. And here's the twist she never saw coming. You're not bitter. You're not angry. You're better. Now she feels the shift. You're not trying to prove anything. You're just living on purpose, in motion, with mission. That silence, it speaks. It says, I'm not for play. I'm not for confusion. I'm not for halfway love. And suddenly, the game isn't fun for her anymore. Because the one man who used to wait for her, he's no longer there. He's not cold, but he's clear. That kind of man, she doesn't forget. She compares others to him. She dreams of the what if. She replays his calm face, his stillness, his absence that somehow felt louder than every "I love you" she's ever heard. So now the story ends like this. You didn't just reclaim your power, you became the standard. She may never say it, but trust me, she feels it. And you? You walk forward, head up, heart steady, not needing her to come back, because you've already returned to yourself. That's how a Stoic man ends the story. With peace, with power, with purpose.